Hey, welcome to a new video. Today I wanted to get ready and talk about skin, more specifically a big breakout that I went through last month. I wanted to share what's worked, what hasn't worked, and some things I've learned from this most recent breakout. I also thought today would be a good day to do a mini review of a tinted moisturizer I've been loving, and I've talked about it a few times, and it's the bareMinerals Complexion Rescue. And I always appreciate seeing like makeup demos on people who have like the skin issues that I'm dealing with. If you're dealing with breakouts and redness, I want to show you the level of coverage that it gives. So my skin has been getting better and better every day. Like 2-3 weeks ago, it was really bad. I will insert photos because I've been keeping track of my progress. So I had some deep ones on my jawline on this side as well. A lot like on the sides of my chin, like right here. So yeah, what you see right now are just like red marks from those breakouts that are healing. So before I put on the tinted moisturizer, I want to try this new product that I got from the Sephora sale, and I haven't touched it yet, but it's the Say Glowy Super Gel Dewy Illuminating Fluid in Star Glow. And I've seen a few reviews of this and they seemed really good, so I wanted to try it. I love a glowy face, and I'm actually testing this out because I'm thinking I might wear it on my wedding day on my skin. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, it's like really lightweight. And I'm just gonna put it on the high points of my face. Smell-wise, it smells a little bit like rose. It feels really nice and hydrating. There it is. It's definitely glowy. I had on like a very dewy sunscreen underneath, so it's definitely adding to that. Okay, now I'm gonna take the tinted moisturizer, and this is great. Like, I will definitely be repurchasing this when I run out, and it's not a heavy tinted moisturizer. Like, it's almost like a little bit moussey. I really like this for how it feels on the skin. The coverage is light. It just blends really nicely over the skin and evens out your skin tone. I like that it's light because I don't need a lot of coverage everywhere. It's mainly around the lower half of my face where I have acne and acne marks, and the rest of my face I just want it to be a little more even and dewy. So this is perfect for that. It also has SPF 30 in the form of titanium dioxide. The one thing about this though is I find you have to prep your skin pretty well the night before and the morning of, because it does cling on a little bit to dry patches. Also, if you have texture, it will cling on to it just a little bit as well. So usually along my chin, I do notice it clings on to dry patches. I'm gonna take a brush and just blend out any like finger marks, you know? And if you have acne and if you have redness, as you can see, it just evens it out a little bit. It doesn't cover everything because, you know, it's a tinted moisturizer. The coverage is light, but it is a really natural looking coverage. It doesn't feel like sticky or heavy at all. It's really lightweight. And throughout the day, I also notice it stays pretty natural looking. I do powder over top just a little bit at the end. Okay, back to skin. Why did I break out? I think I broke out the way I did because honestly, I just wasn't taking care of myself. So it's not that I wasn't doing my skincare, but really it was everything else. March and April were pretty stressful months. As a result of that, I wasn't eating the best. There was a lot of Uber Eats. It was a lot of sushi and pizza and chicken, which felt really good in the moment, and my body kind of said no. And at night, Calvin and I would snack quite often, and it's rarely like a healthy snack. It was a lot of like instant noodles and pancakes. Yeah, I was also having a lot of sugar. So yeah, there just wasn't a lot of veggies going on. There wasn't a lot of nutrient-dense meals going on. So that's one. Second, I was not exercising. I could probably count on one hand like the number of times I exercised in March and April. It was a lot of lying on the couch, on the computer, at my desk, and then going back to the couch. Yeah, I was not moving my body, and my body was so like tense. And you know, when you don't have a lot of energy and you don't feel the best, like the last thing you want to do is exercise, and that was definitely the case for me. And then the third thing was stress. I was feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, and I wasn't managing that well. I was holding in a lot of that and trying to like distract myself with things. And of course, all of that affected my sleep. So I wasn't getting very restful sleep. I would wake up feeling tired. And when I don't take care of myself, it comes out in a lot of ways. One of the biggest ways is my skin. Especially with the stress and the diet, I find my skin is pretty sensitive to that. So time of the month came in April and everything just kind of erupted on my face. And I knew that I wanted to make some changes and kind of get my body back to feeling good. And I knew that would help my skin as well. Okay, concealer on. So about 2 weeks ago, I started to make pretty substantial changes into my like daily routine. And I noticed that turned my skin around, and even my mood, like my mood got better too, really quickly. Like it didn't take long before I started noticing like, oh, my skin feels much more calm. It feels more resilient. My body feels better. I feel more like level-headed and clear mentally. And of course, you know, this isn't like a short-term, like overnight kind of thing. So it was kind of like a loop of like, okay, I made these changes and I feel good. I want to continue making those changes, and you know, the results kind of accumulate. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows, and this is like the hardest part for me. So let's go. I don't think my skin would have healed in this way without these lifestyle changes. So I think those were definitely key. And the first thing I did was I really switched up my diet, added a lot more whole foods, more greens, more vegetables, fiber-rich foods and probiotic-rich foods. Basically everything that I know is good for me, filled my meals with those. I don't really have like a label for the way I eat. Like I wouldn't consider myself plant-based or vegan or vegetarian or anything like that. Like we kind of eat everything, but these days our meals have leaned more plant-based. I say we because like Calvin and I eat the same things, obviously, like we make our meals together. But yeah, we've been cutting back a bit on the meat and the dairy. We've been making a lot of like salad bowls. The other day we made black bean falafel, and we're gonna try to make like actual like chickpea falafel later this week. And we've been having a lot of probiotic rich foods because probiotics are so good for your gut, which in turn is really good for your skin. Kimchi and yogurt. I noticed like I just have more energy, like I feel really full after our meals, but not heavy. I've been drinking a lot of herbal tea, and basically I just wanted to up my intake on things that are anti-inflammatory. So spearmint tea, chamomile tea, green tea, like matcha, these are all really anti-inflammatory beverages. Because acne is an inflammatory condition on your skin, anything I could do to reduce inflammation like overall in my body was great. And I definitely noticed like my pimples and the cysts, like they definitely just felt more manageable and more soothed when I started to eat these anti-inflammatory foods. Another awesome thing is the Bloom, I'm gonna get it actually. Okay, it's this. It's the Bloom Cacao Turmeric Blend. And this is a powder that I mix in with like warm almond milk or oat milk and a bit of maple syrup for sweetness, but it is so good. And I've been having that as like a nighttime snack slash dessert using the Merit Cream Blush. And now let's talk about exercise. So this one was a bit hard for me because like I said, like I didn't have a lot of energy and motivation and my body wasn't feeling good. So really the last thing I wanted to do was get off the couch and sweat. I started off really slow, like honestly just starting off with stretching. I knew that if I tried to do something really intense and really ambitious, like I just wouldn't keep up with it. So I really just focused on like very gentle exercises and workouts like Pilates and yoga and walking. Actually, Calvin and I have been walking tons. in the last few weeks, just around our neighborhood and where we live. Like, there are so many trails in the area. I think it actually helped more with my mental health, just getting my body moving and getting the blood flowing, you know, breathing in fresh air and getting some sunlight. Like, I think it's just so basic and simple, but being so used to being inside all day, I really loved this new routine of getting outside and being in nature. So that's been wonderful and something I really want to keep up, especially as the weather keeps getting warmer. You know, on the topic of mental health, I have been going to therapy every week. You know, it's virtual. And, you know, some weeks are pretty intense. Some weeks are just more like a chat, like catch up. Every time, like, I just come away with something new, like something I didn't really think about before, or, you know, more insight into like why I feel certain things and why certain things kind of trigger anxiety and low mood for me. It's been really great. So the walking and the stretching and the journaling, also I journal almost every day. That's been a really great way for me to just process all the things that I'm taking in and all the things that I'm thinking about. Powder a bit. Another thing when it comes to stress is I've been trying again to meditate. It's really hard at the beginning, right? Like for anybody. So I have the Calm app and I've been doing a few of their like series, like the 7 days of managing stress. And I think there's 21 days of calm that I'm doing right now. So I'd say like every 2 days I will do a guided meditation. And I love that idea of just being an observer of your thoughts and not getting so like swept up in it and putting like stories behind it and judging your own thoughts. But just letting them like come and go. That's been really helpful. And just learning like breathing techniques, like box breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. So it's like a box. Just putting on this new lip balm that I got. It's from Burt's Bees and it's their squeezy tube in Watermelon Rush, and it smells so good. Like, it's so good. And the last thing that I want to talk about internally are supplements. There are really 2 supplements that I've been incorporating into my daily routine. And the first one is vitamin D3. And this is super important, especially if you live somewhere where there isn't a lot of sun. So we're just coming out of like winter, spring, and yeah, honestly, I've gotten like minimal sun for the past year. So I've been taking this, and vitamin D3 is also anti-inflammatory and it's just really good for like overall health. And the second thing I take, it's Metamucil. I really never thought twice about my digestive health and my poops until I met Calvin. He takes it very seriously and he's like very in tune with his digestion. Because I wasn't eating the best over the last few months, there weren't a lot of vegetables going on. I did notice that my digestion was struggling a little bit. So ever since I've known Calvin, he takes Metamucil like almost every day. I joined him on the Metamucil train and we've been taking it like every night. About a tablespoon mixed in cold water, and then you just kind of chug it. And let me tell you, if you've had digestive issues and then things start running smoothly, like there's no better feeling. Like, it's just so satisfying. I don't hear a lot of people talking about like digestive health, but I think it's super important. And there are studies that show that like a lot of people with acne also have like constipation or digestive issues. That detox is so important for your skin health and your gut health. I saved this for last because, like I said, I think the products are helpful, but they weren't like the biggest thing that helped me. I'm just gonna run through quickly the products that I've been using. I kind of rotate between my cleansers depending on what I have on my face and how my skin's feeling. So the ones that I've been using the most are the CeraVe Cream to Foam Cleanser for the evening. For double cleansing, I started using the Pharmacy Green Clean, the cleansing balm, for days where I have makeup on. And I also really like the Access Y Quinoa Gel Cleanser. That one's really nice. There's a cleanser from 3 Ships Beauty that I've been really liking as well. That's kind of similar, like a gel cleanser that foams up really gently. And then for serums, this has been a daily must-have for me, and it's the Constant Skincare Vitamin B3 and Zinc. And this stuff is amazing. Like, I love this whenever I'm breaking out, whenever I feel like my skin's kind of entering like trouble territory. This soothes it. It helps my breakouts heal faster. It helps my oil production kind of calm down a bit. And I'm on my second bottle and it's almost done, and I have a backup waiting to go. If my skin's feeling really irritated, and it was at the beginning of my breakout as things were kind of like peeling and healing, I really liked this serum. It's the Vino Common Restore Oat Serum. This is really nice to layer on with the Consonant, just on the spots where I'm feeling dry and irritated. And then moisturizer. I've talked about this a ton. It's the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. This is amazing. Such a good moisturizer if your skin is feeling like damaged and weak and compromised. I love this morning and night, and sometimes in the mornings when I didn't want something as thick as this, I went in with the Dr. Baber Clean Formance Moisturizer, and I'm going through this quite a bit. I like this as a morning moisturizer because it is very light and it soaks in really nicely. Sunscreen is so key even when you're breaking out, because it can really help prevent like further damage and dark spots from forming from your breakouts. So I've been using two. First one is the Neogen Probiotics Relief Sun Essence, and this is a chemical sunscreen, and it's really like light and milky on the skin. So I like it when I don't want to like rub a lot of sunscreen into my face and irritate my face, and this leaves a pretty dewy finish. The second one I've been using is the Axis Y Complete No Stress Physical Sunscreen, and like the name says, this one is physical. It's a bit thicker, but still pretty lightweight. I find this to be like pretty water resistant and sweat resistant too. And it also has nice soothing ingredients like mugwort, niacinamide, and squalane. So I really like this for when we go on our walks and I'm gonna be outside and maybe sweating. And the star ingredient that's been helping my acne has been benzoyl peroxide. Now, benzoyl peroxide has worked really well for me in the past. So before I broke out, I was using Differin and vitamin C, and Differin is a retinoid called adapalene. And when I started breaking out, I was still using the vitamin C, and I just found my skin was getting worse. So I did some research, and it turns out a lot of people have this experience where vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid, does make their acne flare up and make it worse. So I stopped that SkinCeuticals serum, stopped the Differin, because I knew what I wanted to treat my acne with was benzoyl peroxide, because I knew it was going to work. I have the Benzaclin gel, which is 5% benzoyl peroxide and 1% clindamycin, which is a topical antibiotic, and that works really well for my skin. I just put it on the areas that I break out over my moisturizer. And I do it over just to reduce irritation, because I find benzoyl peroxide is pretty drying and very irritating sometimes. Also been doing some facial steaming. Like, I'll just boil some water and put it in a big bowl and put my face over it with a towel over my head to trap the steam, and just letting the steam clear out my pores about once a week. And that's been really nice and just relaxing. And then after that, I feel like my serums and treatments just work a lot better. You know, these days I've been really working on just reminding myself that my skin will heal and I can still do the things I like doing and still live my life, and it doesn't have to have such a hold on my self-esteem and my daily routine. That's why I love the skincare community, especially on Instagram, because everyone is so uplifting and encouraging when it comes to acne. We'll be sharing like my progress photos on there soon, because I've been documenting. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end, it was really fun just like getting ready and chatting. Like, it feels like I'm just talking to a friend, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.